start then with Sean Cleary, Sean underscore Cleary 93. Who should Rudiger replace in the back three? Is it time for Cahill to take a step back? Well, he scored like 7 goals last season.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, as a defender, he's not top caliber. Cahill, I think he's not going to go and win you a Champions League. But the thing is, for me, without sounding too much like Tommy Robinson, I do like an English player in my English Premier League team. It's a case of without him, we don't have any English players, and that's it. And it's kind of, for me, as you've seen it in Germany, you've seen it in Italy. If you have the players from that country in that team, I don't know, they might. I don't know what it is, but it's a sense of national pride, I guess, for me.
There's that, but there's also there's a understanding what the games mean, what the club means, etc., etc. And for as much as Chelsea get a lot of stick for the money they've spent and the change they kind of help bring about in the Premier League with the Abramovich money, John Terry and Lampard being the core of that team for a number of years, it does. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah,
it's a case of, I think he would be the most obvious one to take out, but Rudiger can also play in a wing-back position. He's done that for Roma this year. So potentially it won't be someone in the back three. It might even be Victor Moses that gets taken out, even though he had a fantastic season. I think, he can't do that 2 seasons on the bounce. And then towards the back end, people are starting to find out the 3-4-3. And it's every new formation that comes into the Premier League, it's going to be stopped eventually. And I felt for us that was starting at the end of the season. And it could have been that, or it just could have been an air of complacency. But either way, no, I think Rudiger might go in at a right wing back position because he's got that international experience. He's got the calibre at the top level of the game. Whereas Victor Moses, as fantastic as he is, I don't think has that top level quality. But it's the same for Marcos Alonso. They've both done a fantastic job. Yeah. You can't fault them. But at the same time, questions can be raised of, are they the player to take us forward? Yeah. And I'm not 100% certain Victor Moses is. Okay.
James Reed, who everyone will discover in the coming weeks is the greatest centre-half on YouTube. As a Chelsea boy, I'm interested in us buying an attacker. I don't know who I'd like now Lukaku's gone. Opinions. And obviously we've talked about Morata already. Is it as simple as that? Is it as simple as Morata?
There's Morata, but then obviously on the table as well, going back into Serie A, apparently we're interested in Andrea Belotti from Torino. I'd love him. I think he's a good player. Bit of a tap-in merchant, but at the same time, his price tag isn't great either, considering they want 100 million euros. And I'm looking at the previous strikers and forwards that have come out of Torino over the past few years and thinking, don't particularly fancy spending that money after looking at Immobile, like Alessio Cerci. I think they were both shit, to put it quite frankly. I think when Immobile went to Dortmund, he really didn't do anything, and the same happened for Cerci when he went to Atletico Madrid. So I think, basically the only option for me personally, I'd like Morata.
Yeah, there's one actually follows it on. John Garcia, who's J_K Garcia, says, could Batshuayi possibly lead the Chelsea front line next season?
Yeah, I think he could. I think this season the reason he didn't play was when he did come on, he was weedy's the wrong term, but he didn't hold up the ball as well. Yeah. He's not Costa, put it that way. He's a different type of player. He's someone who runs in behind, and I think what Conte wanted was somebody who could potentially hold up the ball. And I mean, when he played against Spurs in the semi-final, he did a fantastic job. He kind of held up the ball, and he brought Pedro into play and other players. But the thing is, I think now he's had pre-season. Obviously, I think he's definitely bulked up a lot this season, and I think he's got the capabilities to lead that front line. But it's a case of he's the type of striker which I think needs a partner and needs a big burly one to knock it down for him.
Yeah. Okay, then moving on. Daniel Childs, son of Chelsea. Good old Dan.
The boy.
He says, hi mate, who do you think should be the next Chelsea captain? Odds on Cahill, Luis and Dave.
Well, if Cahill's taken out of the starting 11, obviously he can't be captain, even though he's been captain all year. You can't really be the club captain and be sat on the bench the whole time. I personally think that's a bit stupid. I think Azpilicueta, when I saw him get the captain's armband, bit of a dark horse. He came on. It was the way when I watch him, he doesn't really marshal defence. He's sort of like the silent assassin who just like gets everything, clears at the ball, gets it away. But when he was leading, you know, he really loves Chelsea. Like he's a player which really cares. But then on the same hand, you've got David Luiz, who has captained his national team. He loves Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous how much he does. I mean, I've got a friend I go to university with, and she knows him very well. And she says he talks about it all the time. Like he's talked about being captain before. So potentially David Luiz could be the captain in that if it comes to that. But if Cahill isn't taken out of the 11, it'll be him, I think.
Okay. Bardi, TFC. Stormzy was mistaken for Lukaku today. He was, genuinely. If you had to sign one musician for your club to play up front this window, who would it be?
Jeez, I saw it on Twitter when I was on the train. I was actually thinking about it on the way up. I still don't know, but for me, it's sort of. I saw someone say it, and it was Sergio Pizzorno from Kasabian. He scored a banger at Soccer Aid. So I think you know, I'd take him up front. And you got sort of the glitz and the glamour. You got like the player who's got a bit of flair about him.
Feeling on Soccer AM, he might have done like a mad Rabona.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel that's right. Yeah. See, my instant reaction because it was like Liam Gallagher, but he's like this big, but he's scrappy.
Yes,
he's scrappy.
So
he'd battle for you.
Yeah,
you know, for yous especially. I think he'd take on that Costa Nach role really well.
That's true. He could do that. I mean, if and then obviously you got, I don't know, someone who could just talk all the time. You got like Suggs or something from Madness, who's also a Chelsea fan. Can you imagine him up front? That'd be mad.
That would be.
That'd be insane. I'd love. But for me, I think Sergio Pizzorno, you know, mate, if you're at a loose end, you know, come sign for Chelsea. It'd be fantastic to have you, mate.
He's a mad bastard. He's
brilliant. I love him.